Boom. Yep. Anyone already in gold? Gold's probably gonna fly up one of these days, I'm telling you. Dollar's already looking like it's maybe gonna come down. I don't know. Dollar's been looking interesting up here. I've been talking about, like, look at it, like the price action since we've been up here. I've been talking about, like, this area, if it rejects strong at all, gold will end up flying. And if this comes in for a strong rejection, gold might flip. I don't know. Looking at gold on the weekly. Above 5K. Now we're above 5,100. How high? It's holding 5K now. Like 5K. The first time we ever came near the 5,000s was here, and market went up, went all the way down, and now we've been above 5K for a little bit. So we're above that 5K. We're above 5,000. Like, that's been holding. Look at the weekly. You can see how the weekly chart looks here. This thing looks like it's trying to flip right on the weekly. I suspect any one of these weeks, gold's gonna probably start a stronger push up. Look at the last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days. What's this? 52-ish. Like, look at the last 5 days. Last 5 days, honestly, for gold. Like, yeah, there's a lot of pips right now because the volatility. But we're looking at the last 5 days, honestly, for me, knowing gold hasn't really, like, it hasn't moved much, but obviously, yeah, it's moved a lot because, like, how the market's moving right now, like the expansions. Because if you look at gold a year ago, you go to gold, like, not even a year ago. Let's see, go to gold, like, summertime. Jeez, I'm only at November. There we go. Like, if you look at how gold was moving, this is in the summertime. This is a 30-minute chart. This is a 30-minute time frame, right? And if you look at the candles, so you take into consideration the candles and the time and the price, how long, like, this is 50 pips, 50 pips, 50 pips. This is in July. You can literally see, like, this is a 30-minute chart, so to move 100 pips, like, look, 33.30 to 33.40, 100 pips, 30, 60, 90, 30, 60, 90. You got over 2 hours here. Yeah, over 2 hours it took like the market. Almost 3 hours here that took to move 100 pips. I mean, gold just moved 100 pips like here, but if you're looking at like sometimes the 30-minute chart in 2 hours is moving, like for example here, you're getting these moves. A lot more volatility right now in the markets. So like if you look at the daily, it's like, yo, it actually hasn't really moved much on the daily realistically. Like right now it's just been kind of sitting here. You can see like price has been trading 5,000, 5,100, 5,200. A lot of resistance around 5,200 from the looks of it. Right around that price, psychological level, whole number, right? Whole numbers, zeros. A lot of resistance there. There was once also to the left, you can see. I even broke out once and came back down. That's a level of force. Like if the market gets through there, it's a level of force. Now to get in movements that will get it would take like getting in like moves to get for the market to get through there. It would probably take like it's gonna take down moves to go up potentially. Yeah, like we're just like probably gonna come to 5,200 maybe. I can see 5,200. There's resistance there to the left. A good amount around that area. This daily's gonna break out soon. Like the daily's interesting. I think that like look at the line chart. Look at the line chart as well. If anybody's been paying attention to gold, that daily candle, you know, it ended up. I was even saying, imagine if the daily flips on the stream I did. The last stream I did, I was saying, imagine if this daily flips. And it looks like it could have here, right? And you look at silver. Silver made a silver's been kind of just going up. There was like a strong buying opportunity. Gold's been up, down, fluctuating. The daily at some point gonna break out. Like it's been pretty steady here. We're above 5,100 now. Look what happened in New York session this morning. Like not crazy volatility, but it did take out the lows. There was a buy in New York. If you could have caught potentially, like I didn't call anything out this morning. I just kept it what it was for the day. And like the market, I was talking about how like these are, I guess, some of those things I say like you maybe have to wait for. If you look at this morning, there was like a pretty strong drop at one point in New York session. And that came down to like 5,060. If you're looking at the quarter level, 5,075. And this is what I mean by rejection. Like this type of stuff right here. Buy. Buy. Like that's the thing. Here's where a lot of you guys mess up. You could take one good trade and you have like maybe a take profit and you're like, you want a big swing. And the market provides you an entry to get into a potential trade. And then it goes down. There can always be another setup. Like, not every entry is infinite. Like, look here, there's 3 different entries, maybe like 3 or 4 for buys. So it's like you're taking a trade there. You're aiming for hundreds of pips. You go on profit, and maybe it trades down, and either the trade loses or whatever. Like the trade's either gonna lose, break even, maybe some small profits. Those moments are where a lot of you guys get like emotional in your trading, where you're like, oh my gosh, the setup didn't work, it's done. You change the market. Like you think the market maybe changes now. Like look, gold gave like different buying opportunities in here. Here. And then one here. Right? So when it comes down to like strategy, it's not hard to get entries that can go into profit and react. You're more likely, most of your trades are probably going to be like these types of moves. Like most of your trades will, if you're taking frequent trades, most of your trades, like if you're a frequent trader, you're day trading, if you're taking trades every day, right? Most of your trades will probably be stuff like this that runs just for a specific time, and that's it. That was the entry. Boom, done. Like you got a good reaction, you got a good entry, the market moved. Most trades, like if you take 100 trades, like the more trades you take, the more probability you're going to run into scenarios like this. But also the more trades you take, the more likely you're going to get in those swings too. Because like you take a buy here, goes up, reacts. You take a buy here. If you're aiming for a home run, every trade, you may have to take multiple attempts to get that home run, right? Most of your trades, like if you're good at spotting reactions, like I am, could be, this is a good one. I like this one. This one's actually a good example. This one here. A lot of trades will be like this, where you're spotting that confirmation for the moment, the time. It could be Tokyo session. It could be London session. There could be a different confirmation at a different price. There can always be different confirmations at different prices. Different times. So you could get a trade in London. And like in terms of probability, it's most likely not the only trade the market's going to give you. Right? In terms of probability, like the likelihood of consistent, like if you're continuously trading, right, the probability adds up more over time that you're going to end up probably more in situations where you take a trade, it reacts, goes up 200 pips, 300 pips, maybe 150, 200 pips, whatever it may be, right, in terms of a reaction, and then it changes, right? The more trades you take, especially if you're like day trading. I'm not a swing trader, but I can get myself into entries. I'm not a swing trader, but I can get myself into positions that could provide a swing. Like my entry capabilities, my entry strategies, right? Confirmations that I use. I could spot different setups, right? Different entry attempts, different entry possibilities. One of those might turn into a swing, right? Or it's like I could find more than one entry. It's like, let's say this trade, I'm using this as an example because this just went up like a little bit more and then it came right down. So I'm using this as an example because this went up, it went in profit, reacted good, nice, some take profits hit, and then it came down. A lot of trades will probably be like that. Like, I'm not talking about signals that I send, analysis. I'm talking about you trading on your own. I've been trading for years, so that's why I'm saying this. The probabilities of you getting in a position always and it being a home run versus maybe that moment you're taking the trade, like the time that you're really seeing the setup at, and it reacting in that time, that window, maybe the next hour or two. Maybe the next hour to 2 hours, it reacts. You're giving your sense of risk. Your risk is put in time. It's like, I'm going to look for a setup in London, and I'm going to see if in the first hour it reacts. I don't have to hold until stop loss. I can see how the first hour reacts, gauge my risk in time. It's like if I'm using my stop loss as my entire risk, it's like I'm always going to hold my trade till my stop loss in. But it's like, I could say, let's see how the market reacts in this next hour. And maybe in the next hour, I'm going to be up $500, down $500 or something. But maybe my stop loss is $2,000. Like, let's say my stop loss is $2,000. And I'm taking a trade in London. All right, let me see how this reacts maybe in the next hour based on the confirmation that I have right now. Let's see how it reacts in the next 30 minutes to an hour, hour or two. I have my stop loss put here for $2,000, let's say. In the next hour, I might be able to make a decision to say, let's see if I can hold the trade for, like, maybe I get a reaction, right? Maybe I get a reaction in the next hour that says, okay, I can hold the trade. Maybe I get a reaction or something like that. Or maybe it's not reacting. Maybe I'm holding the trade for an hour or two and it's like, you know what? This isn't reacting so much. I'm going to give it another time. I'm going to come back at the market another time and see, right? I mean, what I'm talking about right now is just psychology of trading. Like, you don't go into something really successfully unless you're like more mentally prepared. Like if you're thinking about the probabilities, how you could act, right? Scenarios, like it's just ways of thinking. And when you're thinking sharply, kind of ahead of time, it makes things better. You tend to not use so much you tend to stay more neutral. I find, like, when I think like this, like the way I'm talking right now is just the way I like to think about how I approach risk at a time, right? I might have a stop loss, but I'm thinking in terms of time also sometimes. If I'm taking a trade in London, I'm thinking, okay, my risk is, in this time, like this next hour or two. It doesn't make it permanent for the week, permanent for the day. There can always be another setup. A smaller loss, a smaller win is better than taking a full loss too. So it's like, if I'm able to spot different setups at different times, I know that the market's going to provide me opportunities, different opportunities. So I can think like, okay, let's see how this reacts in the next hour. Maybe it does, maybe it doesn't. Let's see. Let's gauge that out. It's a way of thinking with your trades instead of just enter, hold for whatever, right? But like I was saying, you're more likely because look at when you're taking trades, like there's been different confirmations for buys. I find there's been way more confirmations for buys right now than sells, like on the candlesticks. Starting down here at the bottom, I was calling buys out down there. 30-minute rejection. I talk about this all the time. If you're new here, welcome. But if you're not new here, I meant to say if you're not new, if you've been here, I meant to say that opposite, right? If you've been here, we talk about this stuff all the time. More like all the time, every single day, every single week. So without me, you guys should be able to go to the chart just like I am and be able to come on and be like, oh, look we could have caught this, here's our strategy. We should be able to go to the chart and be like, yo, and see our strategy, right? You want to be able to do that at the end of the day or at the start of the day. Like, I could go to the chart and see different places I can enter. With or without me, you guys should be able to do that at a certain point, especially if you've been here, right? You should be able to see different types of rejection candles, maybe around certain prices, right? We talk about these things all the time, right? Lately, I've been talking about it a lot. I've been saying, watch the 30-minute, watch the 1 hour a lot right now. If you've been on the sessions, if you look at the 30-minute, there's been a lot of good bullish rejections. If you're looking at the 30-minute chart, there's been some pretty good bullish rejections on price. Just by looking at the 30-minute chart on gold. This is where you got some of you guys, like, if you've been struggling with trading and you know too much information, take a step back, remove the indicators, remove all the theories, focus on price action, where things happen, where the best points of getting in are. Like, if you look at the 30-minute, this is one thing I've been telling you guys a lot to look at for your rejection lately. Like, stay patient, wait for drops, wait for price to pump, or wait for price to dump, and let those rejections come in, because the market's really volatile right now. So it's all about positioning. You're probably going to go in drawdowns even if you position yourself well, but it's better to position yourself in a well spot. There's been pretty good 30-minute, like, after some drops on price, we were taking buys here last night. We started taking buys in this area last night. That's where we caught this trade, like this pump up last night. 30-minute alone, not including maybe looking at a bit of the 1 hour, has had some pretty good rejections if you look at it, like, following this move up so far. I mean, this is market open, so kind of like choppy there, but here, another one. And even like not long ago, like, you could see there was a small one here and that second one. So just on 30-minute, I mean, if you're looking at rejection candles, this is something I teach a lot, right? You have, since last night, different entry possibilities. Not just one, right? So, like, an effective strategy, you should be able to go to it at the end of the day and be like, okay, yeah, I can see my entries here, possibly here, right? And that's how I got good at trading, because I focused on the right things that happen frequently enough to be able to go to the chart and be like, boom, 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 enough setups, to see enough setups throughout the day, every other day, throughout the days of the week. Like, for buys, rejection candles are going to be, like, obviously different shapes, forms. Like, every candle is not going to be the same, you know. Rejection can look different, like candlestick behaviors, the language of a candlestick, it's not always going to look the same, right? So this is where you have to, like, even here, like, look at I posted this one day, talking about this a while ago. Like, we've been talking about this stuff for a minute. Candles can look different. Like, they might not have wicks on them, they could be smaller bodies. You could see a rejection here. Rejection candle right around 51.25 as well. If you know, that's a quarter level, right around 51.25. 51.25. That would be, in my eyes, in my case, a good rejection candle, right? Market pumps up, stops here, creates sort of your next rejection. So you're gonna spot these on, like, rejection's gonna come in at different times on the chart. Like, these are pretty identical candles right here and right here, right? Pretty identical. I like to see a bit more of, like, a flow to price. Like, price, see, this is dropping. I like to see more of, like, price dropping. Nice small rejection. See these candles here, pretty similar to. So especially when you're looking for things to slow down, like, markets can go trending for a while. Like, prices can pump up for a while. They can go down for a while. We seen that last night with gold. Yeah, like literally here, gold was dropping a lot. So especially when you're looking for things to slow down, like last night, gold was dropping a lot. And this is where a lot of traders start to guess. You know, buy the dip, buy the dip. Very popular with gold, buying into the dips. We you know, you hear crypto, buy the dip. Bitcoin, you know, buy the dip, buy the dip. Gold, very popular scenario as well. So, I mean, even when you're looking for things to slow down, like, you need to focus on understanding rejection, how price looks when it starts to like exhaust out, slow down. This is why you have to understand candlesticks, and every trader learns candlesticks in the beginning. You know, the open, the close, the high, the low, candlestick. You look at the candlestick patterns and such. But they are very, very key. But then you kind of skip past that part. Like like me, I remember when I first started trading, it's like you learn what a candlestick is, candlestick patterns, and then you go to the indicators and you jump, you keep jumping in information. You don't practically like focus on things, right? You don't like practically sit there and look at things happen day by day in one form. Like, there's hundreds of strategies out there. You only need one to be profitable, to find your edge, right? I can show you a bunch of different strategies. Knowing them all wouldn't help you be more profitable. Knowing one or two, because then that's like what you would focus on primarily, of what's like there more so, instead of everything and anything, because there's a lot of information. That's the thing. That's trading nowadays. The information's way more accessible. There's so much overload of information, right? So much best strategies, best ways, secrets, new this, new that, new concept, new theory, new way of new pro, like, right? There's so much overload of information. When I first started trading, we would just focus on practical things, one thing at a time. Boom, back test, study. Not like jump, but I went through phases where I would jump from strategy to strategy all the time. So it's simple. Like, at the end of the day, it's really simple, all right? You have to wait for moves to happen. Like, it takes a move to make a move in the market. So like I was saying, like, the thing that most traders struggle with is just guessing. In environments like this, like, price could be dropping, and this is usually where most traders say, what the hell is going on? Holy shit, the market's dropping. Like, what's going on? Price is fucked. Holy, taking buys, getting stopped out, margin called. Like, dude, what's going on? Like, at any time price drops like this, the chat, like the group chats in Discord, start going off. Like, yo, what is going on? Oh my gosh. It's just price dropping, right? And like, all you got to do is be patient in those moments. That's where like emotions get the best of traders, is in markets that are falling like this, right? It's not always going to be perfect, but if you're looking for like when price is going to slow down, rejection is something you got to understand, or candlestick language. This morning, there technically was like manipulation this morning in New York session. However, New York was bullish today. We could say we had more of like a bullish New York. I would say like it was bearish to bullish, right? It set up for that buy again. Like, New York set up for a buy again. It's been doing that, right? A big one today, though. Today was a big one. Right? That's sort of like New York window. Go look at last week. For example, like last week, look at 8 o'clock in the morning. Market dumps. It ends up finding buys. Now this is, remember, NFP was last week too, so we might see gold because NFP's done now. And NFP was not good last week. That non-farm payroll that came out was not good for USD, right? Market clearly digested that Friday. It reacted to that Friday, right? Like NFP, market reacted to that Friday. Then it comes back, sweeps NFP's like low, and now we're up here where the market pretty much opened and pumped NFP. So it's gonna be more fluid now because market was pretty much awaiting NFP, right? We're probably gonna end up seeing a breakout soon on gold. But like, look at this morning, first New York session of the week, right? What did price do coming into New York? It was like dropping, found buys, and then we had this drop, like 8 a.m., 8 o'clock. It was like pumping, but it created a drop. Those are the drops you want to look for in New York, like manipulation like this to set up for the buy. Now, they're not always that small. Like, not gonna lie, like that's in pips, it's big, but they're not always that small. The manipulations, the liquidity grabs, they're not always that small in New York session. But it's like things to wait for, let happen. Like I was explaining that the last couple sessions, like going into New York, it's probably better to wait for like price to drop, like give you drops going into New York session. We got like a pretty intense drop early hours. Like there was, again, a pretty intense drop going into New York today. $5,075. This is behavior. Like you got to understand, like in terms of strategy, this is strategy because it's understanding market behavior, like what the market usually does to set itself up. Like if you look at gold last week, New York dumped every 8 o'clock. And then it found buys. Like New York would drop and then find buys. We've talked about this several times. Like if you look at last week, 8 a.m. Tuesday, price starts dropping, drops even more. But that sets up for a lower buy because they want to find cheaper buys right now. Like if gold's going to fly up because of this whole war situation, which I think it will soon, they're going to want to find cheaper buys, lower buys. It makes sense. It really makes sense when you think about it. Like they're going to want to find, if they want to buy something, if the market wants to buy something, it's going to want to find the lower, cheaper prices to buy, right? Like it's going to want to buy at the better, cheaper, lowest prices. So if you look at 8 a.m., we've been talking about this. I've showed it on several sessions. 8 a.m. dropped every morning last week. Last week they dumped 8 a.m. The algo, I guess, friggin' dumped 8, 9 in the morning, would dump every morning. Every morning. I mean, some, like when we look at this, it's like some are bigger, some are smaller, some are, some are more intense. Regardless, in terms of behavior, like some are more intense, some are faster, some are slower, some are gradual. They did the same thing every day, New York last week, and then even kind of happened on NFP. NFP pumped up. Today, it did drop going into New York hours. Why am I saying this? Because again, remember what I was saying not long ago. It's a lot about how you think about things, even ahead of time. So, what do you think I'm thinking for New York today? Kind of ahead of time. Thinking ahead. Understanding this could happen. If it does, there's a probability there. So like if you look at since Monday last week, I know I've brought this up on several streams. Like if you're new here, we've been talking about this for the last few streams. Let me know where you guys tuning in from the chat. Was able to take 600 account to 4. Oh, are you in the inner circle? That sounds like some inner circle shit right there. All right. Edgar, name looks familiar. Edgar, yo, shout out Edgar, fam. Hey, 600 to 4.5K. Give yourself a, give yourself a withdrawal or stay patient for that next setup. So if you're trying to scale. Yeah, like I'm gonna start trading on my funded account, cause like gold right now, like I'm if it swings, like I'm trying to swing. I'm gonna swing it. Try swing on my funded account. I'm gonna start trading on that. Probably in the morning, like today, this week. Like I'm gonna start trading on it more, cause like the volatility, like it's harder to swing a smaller account. I find like in a way, like I mean, in a way, like if you're just trying to swing and hold, like a big move, you gotta hold. And like smaller accounts are easier to grow if you just catch the move, get out, catch the move. Like, because swing trading can suck if you're trying to hold, because think about it, with our strategies and techniques, in the time that you're trying to catch that swing, with our techniques, like we might already see 3 different entries or 2 different entries, you know, by the time that swing even moves or starts moving, depending on where you're getting the swing from. It's like here, like there's a buy here. Could have been trying to swing that the entire time. But it's like, probably would have still been able to find 2 other entries after that. Or at least 1. It's like, yeah, the swings, like, with how we trade, it's like, yeah, like we could find entries that, okay, we could just try to swing forever. You never know which entry. That's the thing with our techniques too. It's like any entry could really be a swing too. It's like, oh, this would not have been a good swing trade because look, it went down, right? But this next entry would have been a great swing trade, right? Still pushing up. So it's like, I mean, I find to each their own. Like, it's like I could try to hold this swing the entire time, or I might be able to find 2 other entries. Like I could close that, and there's probably going to be another entry or 2 after that I could find. And those pips will add up quicker. Then the pips will add up. Like the pips will end up adding up quicker. I find, like, yeah, you want to go for that big swing, but you catch 2 of these real quick. The pips will add up quicker than holding that swing for 5 days, 3 days. I like that many times. Again, talking about probabilities. The more times you do something, right? It's like I could take that swing trade and try to hold it for 3 days, 2-3 days. That's what a swing trade really starts at, is like holding something for days, 2-3 days up to weeks. But swing trade really starts that first day or 2 days. I would say 2-3 days, right? You're going to be holding a trade maybe for 2-3 days, right? Up to a week. In that amount of time, you're bound to find different entry attempts that you could, with gold especially, that maybe could push you into profit. Like here's an entry. It's like if I was trying to just hold that as one swing, yes, great. It would be a huge trade, right? If I was still in that, trade right now, I'd be up $18,000. So let me see, what's that one there? Yeah, like if I was still in that, I'd probably be up like 18K. Is what it is. Probably around 15 actually. 14, 15. Wrong math there. Well, it's like, that trade was here, right? Obviously, like, I could have tried to just hold it out, and I'd be up way more money right now. A different entry still came. However, that wasn't like the infinite trade. Like depending on obviously where my stop loss is, like how am I going to hold this swing? So depending on your account size, like right now, because remember what I said not long ago, back in the summer, some of you guys have been here since I said that. Remember, back in the summer, it might have been easier to swing gold with smaller accounts. Like if you don't have like a big account, it might be harder to swing and just hold that trade and be like, all right, whatever. Draw down. Because right now, like something that's out of our control is the volatility. Gold's moving a lot, right? So it's like this trade was right here. This one, not this. For example, like this one was over here. It's like, okay, I could have tried to swing trade that, but I would have obviously had to have a big stop loss, a bigger. Yeah, it would have been a good swing trade. doesn't mean that. But look, the market still found like an entry here, or an entry here. At least maybe one more entry we could say in a sense. Or it's like it's not the infinite entry. So trading is kind of like a sport too. Like it's like a sport. It's constant repetition, active. There's strategy there that you got to kind of stick with. It's like, what if I just held on to this? I wouldn't have been able to be honest. Like that drawdown would have been like, it wouldn't have been wise like of me with the account size on that account. That account's like was in the 30Ks. Now it's at 37. It wouldn't have been so wise, right, for me to really do that. I would have been in a fat drawdown with that account size and the lot size I had. But I mean, like, it could have been a good swing entry. It's debatable, like, depending on where the stop loss is. But that takes like a bigger account size, I think, right? It's like, okay, that's why I got to collect entries. If I'm on a smaller account, I got to be taking different entries to try to get that really big swing. New York has been interesting. Look at, like I said, look at the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's go look at more New York sessions actually than just those ones. That one just pumped. No dump really before. It was kind of dropping a little bit before. Here you go. 8 a.m. Let's see. Any more 8 a.m. dumps? Any more dumps? Go dump. Let's see. 8 a.m. dumps going into New York. 8 a.m. dumps. Liquidity grabs. 8 a.m. dumps. 8 a.m. dumps. Dump truck. Some are some are really small. It's like it's not really noticeable. That was a 9. That dumped at 10. Like, go back and look and see. Like, that's what I'm doing right now. Like, are there drops in New York? There are. Like, I can see quite a bit, even going a bit back. Before the pump, like, not all the time. Like, honestly, not all the time from what I've seen. But, yeah, like, situations like this we're seeing. Drops, New York drops. That wasn't a nice downtrend, however. Some 8 a.m. drops that do lead to recoveries. Like, obviously, this wasn't a downtrend doing, like, break and retest. But you can see, like, 8 a.m. drops that do lead to recoveries. And then it keeps trending down. 8 a.m. drops that do lead to recoveries. Yeah, like you could see, you should be able to see it on the chart. Like, again, here, some of these things I got with the yellow, like right here. Here's a good one. 8 a.m. drops. You get that dump. You get that green candle. Boom. Manipulation, recovery. I mean, if you're pro like me, that's where you like in these manipulation phases, you can start looking at the 1 minute. That's where you can study the 1 minute and see if there's any accumulations you can spot in the 1 minute. And I've done that live in real time. Like, so, lots of times. Especially a lot in the last year, in 2025. 8 a.m. drops. Recovery. Manipulation, basically. Like, here, there's manipulation. Or like a dump, and then it goes up. Funny enough, I was taking buys that day. But yeah, 8 a.m. drops. Recovery. 8 a.m. drops, recovery, 8 a.m. drop. Like this past week, like you kind of stretch out a bit. You can see there is, look at the last bit here on the chart. Look at those yellow circles I have marked. All the red lines are 8 o'clock in the morning. This one just goes up. There's been more bullish moves in New York in a way. Like, yeah, like there's been bearish moves going into it. There's been strong bearish moves going into it. But I'm seeing like New York setting up buys after, like New York, strong move bearish going into it, early hours recovery. Here, market pushes up, it does have a bit of a move down, and there is a recovery. To me, there's more of a buy in here, and then it created a sell afterwards. But like drops going into New York, early hours recovery. Like, I don't look at things that I can't see are repetitive. Drops going into New York, recovery, price behavior. Drops going into New York, recovery. Drops going into New York, recovery. Drops going into New York, recovery. So yeah, going back to looking at today. Look at today. Not as intense, but similar to some of them, where you get that drop early hours. So those are the things you gotta wait for. I think for New York these times around, like we have there's other sessions to trade too. Like there's other sessions where the market's gonna move. But I think if you're going into New York, be mindful of, again, price behavior, how it can behave going into those times. It's important. Gives you some patience. Know what I'm saying? So like, price is where it's at right now. I'm not all about predicting where price is gonna be in New York session. I like anticipating what price can do, understanding like wherever it is around a certain time window. I'm expecting probably to see drops going into New York, right? Early hours, waiting for more of that manipulation to see if buys recover. That's been a pretty strong signal going into New York. Even the 1 hour sort of flipped there, but 30-minute time frame is one of the candles I like to watch when that's happening, like when I'm expecting or suspecting that it's happening in the moment, when it looks like the market's pulling back or it looks like the market's dropping, potentially setting up for that buy. I like to keep an eye on the 30-minute, also the 15, like kind of work between both of them in that moment and see how they look. 30 minutes a pretty good time frame to, again, like I showed you guys at the beginning of this session, to get those rejection candles that come in to say, okay, the bearish move could be pretty much like finishing here, right? We could be turning over. Even now, we're like 4 hours pretty high right now. It's not an area we want to be looking for buys right here. Obviously, like I think most of us are bullish on gold because of everything going on in the war right now. Makes sense. Still at these levels, it was easier. Like I'm telling you, like it was a bit easier at a time. Like and times like that do come when it's super trending to just click buy and hold. Like some months ago, it was a bit easier to do that at random prices, but the volatility is too much right now to just like. Some of you guys are just clicking buy when the market opens. Like some of you guys are just clicking buy right when the market opens. Like I gotta jump into a trade. $52. Like the only way you'd buy around this area is if you get a successful breakout, maybe of like that resistance there. Otherwise, where does it look like we could go to on the 4 hour, right? It looks like we could come down to this area, right? On the 4 hour, maybe looks like this area. Why this area? Why am I saying this area? Well, look to the left here. Right. So, I mean, based on like 4 hour, it's like, okay, like, could we get a drop down, recover? Like you could see sort of some 4 hour structure in here as well. Maybe we could get a move down. We're above $5,100. We got to keep that in consideration. 5,100 is that more of an area closer to that the market wants to come back and retest, revisit down here. That's like when you look at a 4 hour potential area, right? You got an area here on the 4 hour that stands out. I have a 4 hour, like we have a rejection on the 4 hour here, so this candle is bearish at the moment. Small candle, we could potentially drop. And like you gotta expect, like look at what New York did today. Like yeah, there was some moves. Like I caught this bullish move. Remember yesterday in London session, right? A lot of you guys were here live for it in the moment when it was happening, and price ended up going lower for New York. I was even saying on that session, like price we're probably gonna find a lower price for New York, right? So even right now, we have to like suspect that wherever price goes, wherever it is right now, like you don't have to predict so much yet, but you have to suspect like a lower price for New York, right? Going into it, most likely, if you're looking for those buys. I don't know. Maybe we get above. Lost my breath there. Maybe it had like a hiccup. Maybe we get above 5,200, right? That's a possibility. 5,200. I just moved 5,200. Oh, it's like right there. 5,200. It's always a possibility if price just consolidates here. Now, why am I saying here? That random looking rectangle. Oh, why? What? It looks like a random rectangle, right? It's not. Why would let's put the rectangle back. Well, that rectangle, you have, again, this low and the high. So we're in a range here. So if you just consolidate in here, price could try to break out, right? Or if it just stays in this range, it could go for that manipulation drive and then go up, right? If you look between here and here now, if it just stays in here, it could try to go for a breakout, and that's showing more control, more holding power in price. Or it could try to go for that manipulation grab New York, right? Regardless, probably get like New York probably going to see a lower price. But it's looking like the way this is going up now, low, high, low, just pushing up, like it's looking like it's trying to grind up. New York, wait for manipulation. Like we're in this range right now. If it consolidates, it might try to go for a breakout if it just stays in this range long enough. I would suspect New York tries to find maybe a lower price or goes for a deeper dive down during New York, kind of like yesterday, New York session again. Not the craziest move, but it would, if you were on the chart while this is dropping, it would have been pretty intense in a way. Like if you were watching gold here and you were watching it drop in that moment, would have been pretty intense. So if you were like watching gold here, it was still dropping hundreds of pips, so you would have been like, it would have been a pretty intense, volatile moment, right? If you were on the chart, even this candle, right? This one candle spiked up, fake out, goes to 112 and then dumps down. Almost $60 there, right? Like a $52, $50 move or so right there, $50 move down. Pretty intense, right? If you were on the chart in that moment. So that's what like manipulation kind of feels like. It's like more of an intense moment, liquidity grabs. Gold looks like it's maybe building up some control here. Like we are maybe developing some control up here in price. So the longer it maintains up here, that means there's just kind of like more control. Like the market might try to hold control. I see gold going bullish soon, like, not, you know. I'm still looking for those buys until the until the war is over. 1 second. Yeah, like you have to suspect like probably lower prices for New York. Wait for that. Like London, I mean, there was just a buy here. Could have caught that move up. If we get above that 5,200, I might see a break. Like, look, there is resistance there at that $5,200 level. So maybe if we do get above there strong enough. I mean, last time it did really break above there. Last time it got above 52. Even here. $52. Seeing resistance there. We get above there potentially. Could be interesting. It's a level of force. There's been enough resistance there. It's not always going to, like when the market's trading to a resistance like this, trending kind of towards it, it acts as a level of force. Eventually it's likely an area like that can get like broken out of. Above 5,200. We got, yeah, like I said, shout out Edgar. Shout out Edgar, fam. Shout out Edgar. I knew he was in the inner circle. I've seen that name. Edgar looks like a familiar name. Maybe it's your profile picture somewhere, something. Somewhere. It's got to be somewhere. I've seen Edgar. Yeah, I'm about to get the U funded open up. I'm just going to be trading on that a lot. And like it's like on smaller accounts, so a couple thousand and stuff, 5, 10,000 range, 3,000 to 5,000 range. It's easy to do some flip and dips, but then just like holding swings is a bit harder. Like some flip and dips, trying to scale. Edgar's out here. Edgar's out here, fam. Edgar is outside. I'll use two right now. I'm using two. FX Capital. That was a good one. That one's good. They do like their withdrawals are fast. I find this one. Their withdrawals are pretty fast. I was using this. I was just testing out a new one. This one, I've withdrawn good amount of like good sizes. And they're fast. 52, 52, 52. Waiting on that 52 break and retest happening. Maybe. Keep an eye on it. How many times have we looked at a chart like this before and it happens? So just keep an eye on it. It might happen in the next couple days. It doesn't have to happen today, but could be the next couple days too. What did some people say in the chat? Someone changed their London session. Have the time changed in London? I don't know. There was daylight savings. Maybe like, I think that, I don't know. London's the same. This is London session just like technically opened right now. Xauusd and Forex.com. That's what I mean. Like, I both are a bit like they're different. They're a bit different, right? Still, Xauusd is like here. It could still break out. It's like they're a bit different. I look at Forex.com a bit more. Yeah, they're a bit different, but like right now they're a little more than a bit different than usual. Actually, yeah, they're actually a little bit different than. Yeah, I see. Still, like same thing. Like Xauusd chart. I like to mix through both. Like it could break above, right? Same thing. Like that would be interesting to see if this happens this week, especially if the dollar remains more on the weak side. Like if we're trying to get above this resistance, break through it. Know what I'm saying? Know what I'm saying? Otherwise, you gotta wait for New York. Like, you gotta kind of like wait for New York. If anything, like, it's not a good entry right now. If anything, it could go for a breakout. Like, it's just holding here. Might stay in control. Like I said, like I know gold, and when it wants to move bullish, it can tend to stay like in control. Might consolidate in this range a bit more. Try to break out. I'm feeling buys, not like right here at this price, but like, you know, they're loading. They're like one of these moments, gold's probably gonna rip up. I think like gold's gonna move when everyone's like not surprised. Like it's like everyone's expecting gold to go up, right? The war. If we look at the war broke out on the weekend. Would have been here. Gold opened. Like everyone, you know, even me too. Like everyone, it's like gold's gonna go up, gold's gonna go up. Dumped. Maybe they're buying. Maybe they bought. It's a buy the dip situation, right? What if this is like it looks like? Because a lot of people are saying this looks like a head and shoulders, right? And I know, you know, a lot of people thinking H&S. But it's like, what if gold, like it didn't pump, like it pumped a bit, and everyone's like, gold's gonna go up, rally, because the war dumped. Now it's chilling, doing its thing, not going up, going down, going up, back and forth, up and down. I feel like it's just gonna have like a rally that everyone's gonna be, oh fuck, man, I missed it. Like shit, you know, like I feel like it's gonna be like that. Like it's gonna be harder to catch than just, you know, that, like it's not gonna be that easy to catch that. You're gonna have to stay on it. I'm telling you, when that rally, if that rally comes around, I think it's more of a when. Might be interesting. But yeah, like right now there's like like I said, 4 hour. Something like people are saying Xauusd looks different, but it's like, okay, you could do the same analysis on Xauusd in terms of the 4 hour right now. Still, like the 4 hour, look at Xauusd. Not a place where we really want to buy. 4 hour. Probably reject here. Come back down for New York session, right? 4 hours, yeah. Like I wouldn't buy here. No, definitely not. Like I would wait. I would wait if anything for New York to wait for buys. Yeah, Oanda is like looking way weirder. Did they have different like hours or something? Were some of their, what the heck? That price action's looking interesting, but like there's stuff that still tells you like on some of the price action, like this. If you go on the session, I was saying like this might be a consolidation candle. It could come down like it. Man, let's talk about this candle when it looked bearish, and I said this could still be a consolidation here. It's interesting when you look back. Like it looks ugly and all, but there's still some detail. Yeah, but yeah, it does look ugly as fuck. Like Oanda's looking rough. I don't know. Bearish rejection, possibly. Yeah, like if we really look at gold right now, like possibly bearish rejection in this area. To be honest, right? 4 hours already rejecting here. So if you're looking for buys, wait for New York, if anything. Wouldn't be buying here. I know a lot of us are looking for buys. There's some of you guys who always stick religiously to sells. There's a few people in here who only stick to sells, by the way, for most of us that look for buys. And there's some who are a mix. Some of you might not know that, but there's some people here who literally only stick to sells because that's like what their eyes can see. So like, yeah, if you're looking at the market right now, some of you guys are looking for buys on gold. Look at here, right? You're not really in an area where it's like, I should be buying. If anything, the only way you'd buy here is if you get a strong breakout, right? And then a retest. So if anything, now when we spend some time on the chart, we'll probably get a sell-off before New York, if anything. It's looking like it could be lining up. Yeah, like Oanda, like still Forex.com showing bearish rejection. I like to look at both. Most of the time I look at Forex.com personally. Like my the brokers I'm trading on, they represent like even my funded account. It looks like Oanda, right? Most brokers look like Oanda, right? For most brokers I trade on looks like Oanda's chart, right? I like Forex.com more. If you were to ask me, one or the other, I like Forex.com more. Doesn't mean I don't kind of like skim through both and see, like, still right now I can see Oanda, bit of a rejection candlestick forming. It looks like Oanda's forming a rejection candlestick, whereas Forex.com's already sort of showed a rejection candlestick. See? It's like Forex.com is a little bit clearer there. There's like an inverted hammer. That's like an inverted hammer candlestick right there. Whereas this one's looking like it's starting to show rejection, right? So, like, I look at both, but if you were to ask me, like, which one, do I like more? It's gonna be Forex.com, but I'll always look at both. Like, if you ever see me on my streams here, I'm always kind of flipping through both of them. But like usually I find for me, even on streams, I'm usually like looking at like Forex.com for the most part. Like if we were to be on a 2-hour stream, most of the streams probably spent looking at the Forex.com chart. All right. I don't know. My eyes adjust to it more. It might be my eyes, right? It might be just maybe my eyes are adjusted to it. Like the preference, that's kind of just it. Like Oanda's just sort of starting that rejection candle here. It rejected at 51.75. Oanda's just like starting the rejection candle. So yeah, if you're looking for buys, it's probably clear it's going to be like New York session later, way later today. Like after it dumps, manipulation. Like that rejected, this is falling. This chart still looks like, oh, this thing could still drop, right? Like rejection is starting to form here on this candle. So So maybe it's looking like sells for London. Like London could have some sells potentially for like time being. If that flips, maybe that flips. New York's gonna have, like I said, New York's gonna have a different view, way to look at the chart, see what things are going on, right? Maybe sells for London based on like how the 4 hours is looking. And yeah, that's really like, I don't know. Right now, I'm just hawking the charts. Like I just jumped on the charts not long ago with you guys. Yeah, like buys even now. Like look, price, it's dropping. Like it's coming to the support. I wouldn't just buy it at that support. I want this to drop more, if anything, for buys. But yo, here's the thing. Like if you're looking for buys and you don't have, like, it flips. Like let's say like it's dropping right now, right? I know, like, and you don't catch an entry now. Like maybe it brings an entry soon and we don't catch it. There's still always potential for this. Like if it goes up and we don't catch an entry or find something, we're not there. There's still always potential for that, right? And that's like, to be honest, like the bigger move, like for buys, the bigger move is above like 5,200 probably. I'll be watching the charts, but I think we missed like 1 or 2 buys already tonight. That it's like, or signals that could have been sent. That's like, I'm gonna be a bit patient. Like, look, 5150s here. Obviously, 5150, 5145, maybe. I'm gonna be patient. Like if you're inside the inner circle, maybe there's a signal loading. Can't tell yet. Usually I can kind of tell maybe a bit before, but patience. If you're inside the inner circle, maybe there's something loading, but for London, I feel like it's let price do bigger drops to set. Like this is just one candle, so it's like this could turn into 3 candles is what I mean, like multiple candles dropping. So I mean, let this drop more until price really starts turning around, recovering potentially. Like it's at the low. I'm not gonna trade it right now. I'm gonna wait till, I think I'm gonna wait a couple hours closer to New York session and see where we're at. They already bought yesterday, New York. Like they did. They clearly bought. Like right after the stock market opened. Like so this is the stock market candle right here. Evidently enough, that's your stock market open. 9:30. That's when USA stock market opens up, right? So like, kind of look what they kind of did. Like look what they did. Like stock market open, dumps, and then what do you get? Recovery right away, like after. Interesting shit, eh? If they want to buy, they're gonna do some shit like that. I'm telling you. It's right when the stock market opens too. Take that into consideration. Stock market, that's a 9:30 a.m. candle. Preparation, planning. It's all about planning too. Preparation, being prepared. All right. That's the 9:30 a.m. candle. It had a crazy volatility wick on it. Went down, pumped, dumped, manipulation. Would have definitely took out stop losses. Because think about if you're buying on that. Like imagine you're trading, and not just you, but millions of traders. Like all the traders, like clearly look like a good buy even setting up there. You're buying. It even spiked up. Like that candle even spiked up. So imagine that. Boom. Right? That's an L most likely for most traders, right? Myself, I'd probably, at that point, I'd be like, if I'm in a trade and I'm still holding it at that point, I know I have a couple of minutes to make a decision. Like, this is either an L or it's manipulation, right? Like, if I'm in a situation like that where I get in a trade, market goes against me like that, and I'm still in the trade. Realistically, I know I have a short period of time to determine if I'm going to hold this or not, right? Because it could be manipulation. Most times it's worth just closing the entry, right? But most traders, they're in a situation like that, it's going to feel extreme. It's going to be an L, right? Stop loss is probably grabbed. Boom. And since then, gold's gone up. It spikes up, and then the first retracement it does ends up like holding. You could probably go down there on the 1 minute. You could probably go down on like the 1 minute chart and see like, yeah, like a shift in structure too, like at some point, like here. Right, you go on like the 1 minute chart, and there is a shift in structure here after that crazy manipulation. Shifts up, first pullback, and then it sticks. Everything sticks after that. So that was like obvious manipulation that they did in New York session yesterday. I mean, look at like we just got a bounce there off that candle right there. Market just bounced off of this. Right. I'd rather, what did it come to? 55? No. 5150. 5150. 5150. I mean, there was a crazy wick rejection there. Depending on how it holds in the range, remember the range I was talking about? Depending on how it holds in this range, right? It's like there might be a first attempt at buys, like somewhere here, up here in this range, like that we're holding above. Realistically, there already was right here. And it's crazy. I was typing a signal last night. What time was it? I have it in my notes. Let me see. Let me go to my notes and see what time if it says the time that I was writing this shit. Notes. I was literally writing like freaking, I was getting ready for the buy there. I was writing gold buy. I wasn't even home. I was literally writing gold buy. 51.55, 51.50 area. This was earlier tonight. And I was just like, it was right here. I was getting ready to send a signal tonight here. Like I don't send every signal because I miss some, because I was like, it doesn't hit my entry. Like I was getting ready to send a signal for buys on this candle, and it just didn't drive down enough, and I was like, we missed it. Like it's gone. I didn't want to force in. Every time I do that, it's like I still could have called out a bit of a higher entry and would have caught the move. Like I could have called out 51.60, 51.55 area, but I wanted to get 51.55, 51.50, and yeah, like that was earlier tonight, so I was like, fuck. So like, from my experience, I already know I missed a trade tonight. I can look at the market and be like, I missed 2 trades tonight, 51.25 retest down there as well. So I mean, like maybe I'm looking for buys, right? So anyone who's like on the same page as me, I'm scoping the market for those, possible plays where there could be buy setups. Obviously bracing myself for that crazy New York volatility. So let's get it. Bitcoin 70s. We are back. Bottom's in, boys. The bottom's fucking in, boys. Believe it or not. All right. See how much Bitcoin Michael Saylor bought yesterday? Bottom's in. Going to the moon. So I told you guys, like, whatever chances you get to accumulate at cheaper prices, take it for every market phase. Like, Solana's about to pump to probably 90s. Like, if you're at cheaper prices, try to find those cheaper prices, because now Bitcoin's a 70. It's like, take each phase for what they are for accumulation or dollar cost average, right? Try to take each phase for what it is in those moments, Let's see, because if this pumps to like 80, it's like, and you didn't accumulate down here, that was your dollar cost average, like perfect time to accumulate. Now what are you gonna do? Buy at 80? So it's like you gotta take each phase for what it is on the market. I mean, is in fear because look, like 2 years ago. Let me see this. Let's go. Where's Bitcoin? Or let's go here. Like, can I even go? 2 years ago, 70,000. We're at 70,000 right now. And price. Like 2 years ago when market was at this price, it was greedy. Like hitting these prices, like the prices we're at right now, the market was once at a, like greed, like with the prices that we're at like right now. Yeah, it's new. Where Bitcoin's here, price is neutral. Bitcoin's like in a neutral price right now, realistically. But in the index, whoa, what just happened? Like, yeah, we're at, it's not, exact, but like when we were in these like prices before, market was going like greed at one point to extreme greed. Like once this was extremely greedy, these prices were once extremely greedy prices, and years ago, many years ago too. But like here, these are once like extremely greedy prices. Even like in this pump up, that led to extreme greed. Now it's like we've been in extreme fear with these prices. That should tell you a lot about things. Should tell you a lot about things in a way. Bottoms in, boys. If Ethereum, everyone's saying if Ethereum can get above 2,200, then that's good. Like Ethereum's like everything's consolidating right now. It's either we're in that accumulation or that last like bull trap phase. But Ethereum super low. 2,200. We get above 2,200. Could be key. Getting above, if Ethereum can get above 22, that's I think very key. Key level right there. If we can get above, if you look to the left, you can see sort of like these pushes to the left above 2,200. Come back and retest them. You can see support at 2,200. If we don't hold, like 1,500 is the support right now. Like 1,500 is support. So if we don't hold, it's like maybe we go back closer to that. That's like try to retest and revisit 1,500. But if we don't get above 2,200, I mean, but you could see like a couple times here to the left where we break above. So like a successful, strong break above Ethereum could be good, could be significant. That would end up rallying it up again. Can that happen this year? Potentially in the next year, like going on the next year to the end of the year. And then 2027, 2028, more bullish. I mean, I take each phase for what they are. Last time Ethereum was down this much, right? 66% here, right? Ethereum dropped 65% almost there. So it's like, when's the market going to give you an opportunity where it's down 65%, 66%? Like, it's like, is it going to go to 70%? Yeah, like it could. Is it going to go to 70%? Yeah, it could, but you're like, you might as well start dollar cost averaging, because to me, it's like if it goes there, it could just fly up, and it's like you have more time to accumulate at these cheaper prices. My opinion. Because, yeah, like, crypto can move. Like, sometimes these altcoins and coins can pump up 10-20% in a day, and then it's like, shit, you missed out on a good entry to dollar cost, accumulate. I don't know. Bitcoin, monthly. Look at the chart. Like, monthly. We've gone 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We've gone a lot of bearish months in a row. So we are going to probably get near that bottom soon. Like, we've gone consecutive bearish months in a row, right? Even if there's a few more, like, we're either like, see, like here, like, I think Bitcoin is like either here or at the bottom, like close to the bottom, or like at the bottom, like, or either here or here, like near the bottom, getting closer to it, like approaching it. If it dumps down, it could come fast, but Bitcoin's setting up like how it has once already. So it's like, I don't go against technicals as well. If I see something on the technicals, I don't also go against it. I don't care what this person said, that person said. I don't care about what Bob said. I don't care about what the guy who fucking has $10,000 fucking dollars in his crypto portfolio said. Like, I gotta do what I do, right? So I don't go against technicals either, right? That's one thing. Like, I'm not going to go against technicals and what I think about those things too. So it's like, yeah, like Bitcoin's at a potential place where it could rebound, start a local bottom. I'm not saying it's going to go to the moon, but it's at a place where it could rebound if this month closes strong. We'll see. Bitcoin actually kind of thrives through chaos. Like, Bitcoin actually does good in chaos. Like, look at COVID-19. Bitcoin actually did amazing. Bitcoin kind of thrives in times of chaos. Like, there is a war going on and stuff right now. The world's getting chaotic. I think eventually Bitcoin will thrive throughout all of that in the near future. I'm here for it. I'm a holder. I'm here for it, folks. If you're asking me. Did you guys see the story I posted on Instagram today? Hype, Chainlink, HBAR. Like, I'm here for it. If like, I'm holding XRP. I don't know if you guys saw the story I posted today. So I'm holding any opportunities I get to buy at cheaper prices. I'll take advantage of those, right? Gold, interesting price action. Dollar is tanking. The dollar is tanking right now. Dollar might go for a free fall. I remember how I started this session at the beginning, talking about the weekly on gold as well. Remember how I started this session too, like the weekly is looking interesting on gold. So like, I'm only looking for buys. Yes, I'm not in any buys right now. I'm only looking for buys. Different things can happen, but that weekly looking interesting. Remember that, what I talked about at the beginning. Gold's just consolidating here. All right, like, that's like price action. Gold is respected to price action. You don't always need the whole numbers. And I'm like, nice break and retest. Let's get it. I'm gonna wrap it up soon. I want to check out the news, see what's been going on. Check out the news, see what type of headlines there are. 5,200. Like, remember some of the stuff I talked about? Like, we didn't catch a trade this session. Nothing right now. It's not always like that. I usually just like to come on. Like, these sessions are more for I like to send signals. Like, I send my signals in the chat usually when I'm off sessions. Like, I don't usually send signals when I'm streaming. I'm usually better at doing it when I'm off sessions, quiet, not talking, not answering questions, not analyzing live. Something I kind of like to just do when I'm kind of locked in. It's easier. Like I'm just more locked in, me, quiet, and I'm better at it that way. Like I'm just better at it that way. So it's like for you guys, it's better too. If you're taking my signals, it's better when I'm just doing them on my own time. Just more locked in. The energy's different for me. So I've noticed that. That's why I don't really send signals, because I notice like I'm way better at sending signals when I'm just on my own time, doing my own thing. No pressure. Nobody asking me what's going on right now. This like just quiet, nothing going on, chilling, sitting on my couch, doing my thing. Like not focused on actually looking for a signal so much. Is usually when I actually find the best signals. Like usually when I'm not focused on looking so much, is honestly usually when I find and kind of spot the best opportunities, when I'm just kind of chilling on my own, sitting there, and I'm observing the charts, but not fully like locked in, like trying to look for something, right, and explain something. They just pop up and boom, boom, boom. I'll write them in the chat, and then bam, bam. That's kind of how they happen, to be honest. Bitcoin pump. I mean, if I wonder what we gotta see what Trump says in the next couple of days about this war. We gotta see if they're slowing down this war. It looks like, Iran has kind of like slowed down attacks. What if Bitcoin pumps? Should have been longing Bitcoin full port. Should have just been full porting Bitcoin down here. If Bitcoin breaks, like look, it did a shift up here. So this is, if we break above, if this goes up, that's interesting price action, right? Net pullback. Last March and April, go look at price action last March and April. Some of you guys might be able to maybe see if we're doing something similar. Go look at March and April last year. We did a strong recovery March, April last year on Bitcoin. Obviously more in April. April was the month. There's people speculating that. Not a lot, but I've seen a few speculating like how last year, in terms of like how the market ran up. We've been down consecutive months. I think this is the first like Bitcoin. I don't think it's been down this many consecutive months in history like this. So it's creating like probably the most fear that it can. Like I've seen this before, but next bull run is gonna be. I feel like the next bull run is gonna be crazy. Solana to like $1,000 type of shit. Like the next bull phase that crypto has, when that happens, I feel like it will be pretty significant ones, because like you have companies right now accumulating, countries, states, like you have like different entities accumulating. It's not just regular people like me and you and influencers and social media people and stuff people we see online, right? Like people like us, like it's different entities that are accumulating in this stage, right? These stages that we're entering, that we've been in, like, so that next bull phase will be pretty impactful, I think. We're in a bear phase. A lot of people are shocked that we're bearish, but we haven't been bearish on Bitcoin since 2021, 2022, right? It's 2026 now, we're bearish. So realistically, 2022, we were going into 2022, we were bearish. Coming into 2026, we're bearish. We haven't been bearish like this since over here, right? Since that phase, right? Which we're pretty much, again, in right now, right? We're literally like in that phase. We've been in that, right? The longest it could last is probably like 4 more months, right? Probably like 4 more months of this until it's way near that bottom, up to like a year. A year, because we dropped 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's like actually 6 more months, which seems like a long time, but it's already March. Think about it. It's just New Year. It's already March. Soon it's going to be April, and then it's May. It's going to be summertime soon. Like, watch. Like, the world's spinning. Like, it's already March. Soon it's going to be April, and then we're going to go into, like, spring, and next thing you know, it's going to be summer, and then fucking it's Christmas already. Like, we're like, shit, Christmas already? What happened? Same shit. Different year. Actually, new shit, different year. Donald Trump, war. I mean, nah, last year we got tariffs. Last year we had wars. We had, like, attack. It's a new year of the same shit, actually. Last year we had tariffs, all this shit. Trump's been pretty consistent in the years now. He's trying to go with a bang. Like, it's his presidency. He probably wants to make the Trump name really big. His legacy. He wants to go down in history, too. Like, Trump wants to be... he's building a legacy, too. Like, he's... like, sucks to say, but a lot of it's business, too. Like, he probably wants his Trump name to last forever. For generations of the Trumps. Bitcoin's doing the same setup it did back in the day, yo. I'm telling you, back in the day, man, oof, we trusted this with our life. Oh, man. Imagine being down millions. More millions, actually, because that was fuck times. Got fucking scammed in a Ponzi scheme. Fuckers. Ever see that guy? If he fucking... Imagine being like here, and it's like it's like, you know, this is your last. Imagine this being your last landline, basically. Like, yo, your last lifeline. Like, all right, if this doesn't hold, it's like we're fucked. Like, what? Like, you know, like, I mean, like, you know, imagine that being your last lifeline. So we got the same setup as way back down there, back in the day, yo. We got the same classic setup from back in the day. Talking back in the day, down there, way down there. We got classic setup happening from previous all-time highs, flipping potentially, previous all-time flipping. Does it stay in this area? Hey, look, there was a rejection there, and then it did go down more. So I'm not saying, like, hey, what if we get a rejection? We go down more. But then we fucking... Just saying. The same setup. Let's go logarithmic. The classic freaking... Look at the logarithmic chart here. Don't ask me what logarithmic means. Look it up. Alright? Just look at it, alright? You can see it. It's clear. Same setup as back in the day, yo. Back in the day when we all thought we were fucked. And yo, like, wasn't even like FTX collapsed, the Luna situation. Like, there was. Look at what's been happening these like the last few months in like the world and crypto. Back there, we had like the FTX situation. There was a Ukraine-Russia war going on. Fucking what else? A bunch of shit. China wanting to ban this, ban that. What else? FTX, Luna, the Luna collapse. Probably some other stuff I'm missing in there. Think about what you had the last few months too. It's like not only in the world, crypto and the world. You know what I'm saying? Same setup happening from back in the day. If it holds, we go back to the highs, or we swing to like 200K a coin. I am not bearish on Bitcoin, but if it goes down more, what do you think I'm going to try to do, right? If it has another dump, another phase down, another leg down, you know, gonna lock in on that still and treat it like kind of like how it's been now. Like look at what the market did kind of recently, right? How it recovered a bit. I mean, a little bit of recovery from when we got to intense price, extreme fear. So if we ever get to an extreme fear, like again, like if we get in a phase like where we dump again, take it for the same thing, right? Treat it for like sort of the same thing. Like okay, another phase, potentially to accumulate. That's me. Like you don't have to fall. Like that's me. Like I'm prepared for like understand. Like I'm accumulating now, and I'm prepared for like worst case scenario. So like I'm accumulating what I could. Like I've been longing. Like I'm longing the fuck out of Bitcoin on leverage on Bybit. Like that's one thing. Two, I have a liquidation price at $53,000 right now. Might have to move that a bit. You never know. Or we'll see. That's a me thing. All right. That's not a signal. That's not a trade signal either. But that's a me thing. I entered at 68,000. Or like my entry price is in the 68s. It's fucking deep right now. Like I'm gonna be every attempt I get to leverage long Bitcoin, I'm gonna do to try to hold a long position for a couple of years. To be honest, any attempt where longs present themselves, recently they have on Bitcoin, where it's like okay, buy the dip, potential accumulation. I'm gonna go for them when they're there. Might take a couple attempts to get that one that I can hold for a long time that ends up turning into a big trade, but I've done it before. Might be setting up like back in the day, yo. Back in the day. I mean, let's see here. Bitcoin's not that thing now. Remember, like that. Throw $1,000 in and you'll get rich. Like I mean, if you want to see your like, if you want to keep more of $1,000, like now, later, yeah. Bitcoin's like a different game now. Like think about it. Like look at what a company just did yesterday. Like different types of people are accumulating Bitcoin. And here you go. Like right now, 20 million Bitcoin have been mined, right? 20 million. The remaining 1 million Bitcoin will take 114 years to produce. So the last million Bitcoin is going to take 114 years to produce. So the rate Bitcoin is coming out now is going to really slow down. Like it's slowing down. Like it does over time. That's what Bitcoin always does. As you go to 2028, 2032, it's going to cap like how much Bitcoin's out there so much and be way harder to get like over time versus like the amount you could buy. Like if holders are holders, if there's people like Michael Saylor out there that are just going to be holders and never sell, right? That's why these ETFs are like things are eating them up. It's like there's a lot of people saying it's a bull trap too. Like there's people saying it's a bull trap, like a final stage of like a bull trap could be. But like I said, I take each stage for what they are. If it is a bull trap, it goes down more. I know we're near the bottom then. I know if it's a bull trap, we're near that bottom though, right? Michael Saylor, I saw he just bought, right, what was it? Like almost 18,000 Bitcoin yesterday. Like there was a $1.2 billion purchase for Bitcoin. One person, company, like for the company's holdings, right? That company now holds like 700,000 plus Bitcoin. I mean, we'll see how it goes, but that's one thing. Like, we got 1 more million. We officially hit the 20 million mark for Bitcoin. 1 million to go, but that 1 million again is going to take 114 years to produce. Straight's open. President Trump says, told oil takers, show some guts. President, what a character. He's a character. Yeah, like bull trap. See, a lot of people saying it's a bull trap, right? You're gonna have both sides. It could be. But I mean, I think that would be that final like bull trap stage if it is. That brings us to like extreme fear where everyone's completely cooked. Like if not, like I mean, everyone's already cooked. If no one's already cooked, hasn't been cooked on crypto already, like with altcoins and such, right? Nice little pump today. Hyperliquid. I've talked about Hyperliquid. That went up a good percentage. Hyperliquid's interesting platform. So let's see, guys. Gold. I don't know what it's at right now. Probably just, yeah, I was gonna say probably pushing up. Yeah, there it went. Like 5,200, like that could happen. Like that's still on the radar. Like we might try to break out to the upside 5,200, right? $5,200. Remember what I said at not the beginning of the session, but throughout the session, we went like I know we went over talking about 5,200 at some point in this session, a couple times I think. If we get above it at some point, that could be definitely something to keep an eye on, right? Yeah, it's a possibility. I said it before it's even now, like it's looking like it might happen even closer, right? Like I've already said it, right? Maybe keep an eye on that today or tomorrow. But I'm gonna wrap it up for the night, guys. Not much right now to go over. Yeah, like I said, you never know with Bitcoin. Like everyone's skeptical, like not optimistic, very skeptical right now about it. But look at the chart. I mean, I don't go against the technicals. Like I don't like to. Like I mean, what if this was a gold chart right now? Like we'd probably be looking at this like, right? Like yeah, it looks like it's gonna try to bounce back to like here, the lows, right? I don't like to go against the technicals. Like anyone, you know, everyone. Like I see the chart, so that's an interesting chart, though. Maybe to keep an eye on. I'm out though. I'll see everybody next session. It's gonna be it for me. Gold. Keep an eye on it. There's right. I mean, like we missed. Obviously, we missed. Like it moved. Like you know that reaction would have been. That reaction would have been good. Obviously, like but. There's still time in the week, right? 5,200. Keep an eye on that. I'm out. I'll see everybody next session, though. Peace.